Hello lovelies, welcome to my channel. My name is Esther. In this video I'll be teaching you how to cut and sew this beautiful gown with front zip. So if you're just seeing this channel for the first time, please do well to subscribe and click on the notification bell to be notified each time I post video. So to cut out this gown, fold your fabric into two and mark your starting line like you see me doing in this video. Like I have folded my fabric into two, okay, and I mark out my starting line, okay, like you see me doing in this video. So I have already have my measurements written on the book. So the next thing I'm going to do is to divide the shoulder I'm working with. The shoulder I'm working with is 16, divided by 2 is 8. So I divided by 2, which is 8, I mark it. And from the shoulder, which is that line I marked, I come down from the shoulder to the chest line, which is 9 inches. So for this gown, I will not be making use of waist measurement. So I will not be making use of waist measurement because there is no need for waist measurement. So what I will be doing is I will be marking the length of the gown. So the length I'm working with is 38, okay, 38 inches. So I will also do the same, mark from shoulder to chest line and from shoulder to length of the gown, and I will be connecting it with my thread ruler like you see me doing in this video. Okay, so the next thing I'm going to do right now is to mark that 8 inches, which is my chest, my shoulder line, shoulder measurement, to chest line and connect the line like so, which is my armhole line. Okay, so the next thing I'll be doing now is to mark the neckline. The neckline I'm working with is 3.5 inches for the width. So I mark for the depth 3.5 inches for front depth, and for the back depth I mark 1 inches. Remember, this is we are cutting the back first. Okay, you know this gown have front zip, so I'll be cutting the back first. Okay, so I'll be connecting it like so. Like I said, I use 3.5 for the width, 3.5 for the front neck, and 1 inch for back depth. All right, so I'll be dividing whatever I have on that armhole line by 2, which is 4.5. 9 divided by 2 is 4.5. So on the shoulder line, I will come down by 1 inch and connect it to my neckline, which is the shoulder slant. You know, shoulder is not always straight. Okay, so now we'll be moving to the body measurement. So I'll be dividing the body measurement I'm working with by 4. All right, so the body measurement I'm working with, which is 40 inches, divided by 4 will give me 10. I mark and I added 1.5 inch for sewing allowance. So I'll be connecting that measurement I mark to that place I divide armhole into 2 to form my armhole curve. All right, you can use your curve ruler, you can use your freehand. So on the downside, because I don't want this gown to be too big, so what I did was to measure the hip, divide the hip by 4. So what I have, I added extra 4 inches, okay, for it, right? So I'll be connecting it to meet with the bust measurement. All right, so this is what I have. I connected it. Like I said, I don't want it to be big. I divide the hip measurement and added 4 inches because I don't want it to be big. All right, so what I'll be doing on the downside, okay, so on the downside, in order not to be pointy after sewing it, I'll be going up by 2 inches. Okay, on that downside, whenever you finish cutting your short gown, if you leave it like that, it will be pointy after sewing it. On the side will be pointy. I go up by 2 inches. You can go up by 1.5, okay, but 1 inch is too small, right? I go up by 2 inches and slant it to meet with the around middle of the gown. Okay, so this is it for the cutting of the back. All right, this is actually the back back cutting. So I'll be cutting this out now so that I will use this back piece to cut out the front piece. All right, so this is it for cutting. I'll be cutting out the back depth neck line and the shoulder slant. Okay, so like I said, if you're just seeing this video for the first time, please do well to subscribe and click on the notification bell to be notified each time I drop video. So I'm done cutting out the back piece. This is actually the back. I'm cutting the back first because the front have zip. So it is in the front that we'll be adding the zipper allowance. Okay, so now to cut out the back, I folded my fabric into two. To cut out the front, sorry, I folded my fabric into two again. Okay, so what I'm doing now is to add my zipper allowance. So I'm marking 1.5 inch for zipper allowance. All right, zipper allowance. I'm adding this 1.5 inch because this fabric will have lining. Okay, so if it's without lining, you can add 1 inch for your zipper allowance. All right, so I'll be connecting the lines that I mark with my straight ruler like you see me doing in this video. Okay, so the next thing I'll be doing now is to place the back. Okay, the one I have cut already, place it on it, making sure place it on it, okay, like you see me doing, making sure that you are placing it from the line that you mark for your zipper allowance. Please, it should be on the line that you mark for your zipper allowance. All right, make sure you arrange it very well, don't be in a hurry. Okay, arrange it very well, right, so that you will not make any mistake. Okay, so make sure that it is on the zipper allowance. So what I'll be doing is to trace the front neckline. You know, I mark the front neckline on the back, but I will not be cutting it. So what I did was to trace the front neckline and mark it, and that is it for the back. Okay, every other place will be the same for this back. All right, so we'll be cutting this out. You cut out the neckline. All right, and trim out the shoulder and the body of the gown. So what I'll be doing is I'll be removing the back place. So for the front armhole, so you determine where that midpoint, that place that you divided into two, determine where that place that you mark, and go in by 1/2 inch and trim it out. You know, back armhole is always larger than the front armhole. Okay, so I will be splitting the front. You know, it has zip, so I will be opening it up like you see me doing in this video. Guys, this gown is so simple. Just pay attention, you will understand everything. Okay, so we'll be cutting out the sleeve right now. We'll be cutting out the sleeve. So what I'll be doing is to measure the round armhole of the gown that I cut. Measure the round armhole. What I have here is 10.5. Okay, so to cut out the sleeve, I'll be folding my fabric into two like you see me doing. All right, so I'll be folding it into two like so, right? So moving forward, I will be marking my starting line. So I will mark my starting line. I'll be marking my starting line, okay, which is what I'm doing now. So from there, I will mark the 10.5 inch that I measure from the sleeve armhole, from the gown armhole. So I'll go down and mark the length. The total length I'm working with here is 14 inches. So 14 minus 5 inch for that gather, it will remain 9 plus 1 inch for sewing. That is total of 10 inches. So that is what I'm marking now. So after that, you go in by 4 inches, 4.5, and come down by 3.5 and connect it like you see me doing in this video. So this is basically our sleeve, the basic part of the sleeve. So I will go down and mark the round sleeve where the sleeve stop from the gather where the gather start. I will mark the round sleeve divided by 2 and mark it and add sewing allowance. So and curve my armhole. So I'm done curving my armhole. So what I'll be doing now is to connect that round sleeve, okay, round sleeve measurement down to the up part of it like you see me doing. So I will measure your curve to be sure that is equal to the measurement you're looking at. Okay, so the next thing is to cut it out. Okay, so it's simple. All right, so the next thing is just to cut it out. Okay, remember this is the first piece of it, a single piece. So I'll be folding my fabric into two again to cut out the second sleeve. So I'll be folding it into two to cut out the second sleeve and making sure that it's equal. Okay, so and just trim it out. Is the same thing. All right, it's the same thing. The cutting and everything is the same. Okay, so we are done cutting the sleeve, so I will be notching the midpoint to know where the sleeve will stop. So what I'll be doing now is I'll be using the materials I cut to cut out linings for this. Okay, I'm done cutting the linings. Okay, so what I will be doing now is to take them to my machine and join the linings together and bring it for you guys to see. So I'm done joining the linings. Okay, so here is the back. Okay, so guys, I cut pocket and added. I did not video this part, sorry about that, pardon me about that. So I joined pocket. Okay, so what I'll be doing, this is a zip I'll be using to fix. This is actually a long black zip with gold teeth. Okay, so what I'll be doing is to fix my zip in front. Okay, so I'll be fixing the zip before joining the two back and front together. So what I'll be doing is after fixing the zip, I'll place the back on the front and sew the side. Okay, sew the side, join the side. So let me do that and bring it back for you guys. So I'm done sewing everything, like I am done joining the side, and I've also fixed the zip. Okay, here is the zip. Can you see how neat the zip is looking? All right, so what we will be doing now is to fix our sleeve. Here is the sleeve I cut out before. All right, and this is the piece I cut for the gather. You can see that gathering on the tips of the sleeve. So I cut this piece 7 inch, 7 in length, because the total length I needed is 5 inches. So 2 inches for sewing and folding. So I'll be placing it on the sleeve and gather it and fix it on my sleeve. Let me do that and bring it and show you the final result. Here is a final result. Can you see how relaxed and beautiful this is? Thank you for watching. See you in my next videos. Bye.